Talking about the London Marathon, we can speak now to just one of a number of friends of the running enthusiast John Lawton from Alsager. John, of course, as you know, disappeared during an off-road race in Greece more than 2 weeks ago now. These friends took part in the London Marathon yesterday to raise money for the fund that has been set up to find him. 6 people from the Sambat Striders running club dedicated the race to him. We can speak now to Jason Bully, who was one of the runners and also a friend of John's. Jason, good morning.
Good morning to you.
A difficult day yesterday.
It was very difficult. I mean, it's the London Marathon's an amazing event at the best of times, and marathons are very difficult to run under any circumstances, but it wasn't easy with him in our thoughts all the way.
And how have you and the other members of the club, what's the mood been like amongst you over the past couple of weeks?
It's been very, very difficult. There's a feeling of helplessness, as you know, it's so far away, and what can we do? We've spent a lot of time trying to think of what we can do to help, and you know, running the marathon yesterday and raising awareness was just part of it. But to be honest, you know, we wore, you know, his picture and sort of details of his plight on our backs so everyone could see it. But you know, the 6 of us that ran, that was just a small part. You know, we had people from the club. You know, 2 girls got up at 4:30 yesterday morning from the club. Claire and Catherine, they sort of fought their way through the crowds yesterday with sandwich boards and buckets raising money, and in fact they were out on the course yesterday far longer than any of us who were running it. And you know, my wife ran yesterday, and another girl from the club who had spent hours sewing yellow ribbons. Other members of the club have been out putting posters up in the local area, putting buckets in pubs so that we can raise some money towards the search effort. The club have been absolutely fantastic. And
I mean, you're saying you're raising money. What's the money going to be used for, Jason?
I think essentially the search effort. It sounds to us that, you know, the volunteers in Greece have been absolutely fantastic. But the Greek economy, the way that it is, they just do not have the resources to keep, you know, the expensive stuff. A helicopter obviously is very expensive to keep airborne, but you know, an hour in a helicopter could cover more search area than volunteers in days. So we're raising it for anything that Linda and Steve think, you know, that it'll be useful to them. Anything at all, you know, whatever they think, we're sending it to them to. You know, they're over there. They know what they need it for, and you know, that's our aim.
All right, Jason. Thanks very much for speaking to us this morning. Jason Bully from the Sambat Striders Running Club. Of course, John Lawton was a member. We can actually get an update now from John's son, Steve. Steve, good morning.
Morning.
What's the latest?
Well, just very briefly before that, just firstly from my perspective, I'd just like to express enormous gratitude to Jason and Sambat Striders guys. And of course, we haven't got any new material news, anything that's in any way significant. But all I would say is that all of the efforts from so many people, particularly Sambat Striders, is really strengthening for me and for my mum to know that, you know, so much good work's going on through fundraising, through goodwill, and just through thoughts and prayers and all of that sort of thing. So thanks very much from that perspective. I mean, in terms of the latest, I really wish I could provide you with the latest that meant something. I mean, obviously we are into our 3rd week now for search. It's been, if you count the first Sunday, it's the 16th day of search in the mountain area. Today is a little demoralising, I think, as I guess it sounds a strange thing to say because every day has been very, very difficult. But after 2 weeks, I mean, it's important to realise that this level of search is pretty unprecedented. I mean, the authorities would on average be out for about 72 hours. So the fact that yesterday we still had 87 trained professionals, including the fire service, including the Hellenic Mountain Rescue, including specialist dog units, is really quite incredible. The fact that it didn't give us any leads is in some ways all the more depressing. We've still got people on the ground today. Unfortunately, today signifies the first day that the volunteer group aren't an active part of the on-the-ground search, albeit still continuing to do some work for us. They have been, I can't express my thanks enough to them. I think, as we've said before, they've been closing the shops and helping every single day. But these people have got livelihoods and have got their own jobs to go back to.
Sorry, Steve. Does this mean that the official search is still carrying on?
The official search is carrying on in the sense that we've got local police and fire still here today. But I think we've got to be realists about the next step. So the volunteer group, which have been the mainstay of the search, they will no longer be an active part of it on a day-to-day basis. And look, it's the Greek elections here in 2 weeks. The police, without doubt, are going to start getting pulled into other issues any day soon. We're very aware of that.
Okay. We spoke to your mum last week, and I mean, goodness knows, I don't think anyone can comprehend how hard this is on her. One of the things that she did talk about was that she said that you've not had a one-to-one sit-down with anyone from the embassy as yet. Has that changed at all?
Yeah, look, the embassy have been here. I think they came here on day 11 or something like that. I don't think for me today is a time for getting into a political conversation about the role of the embassy. I think it's just worth knowing that the nature of the embassy and the way that it works is very much an administrative role. It's it can help in terms of comfort, goodwill, and it can give us some links and contacts in terms of legal advice and possible people that we may want to speak to. But the work, the kind of the day-to-day pragmatic stuff, that's been the local authorities and particularly the volunteer groups. They're the people that have been making a difference, I would say.
All right, Steve, thank you so much. I can appreciate, the last thing you want to be doing is talking to other people. You want to be out there kind of getting involved in the search, so we're always...
Don't worry about that. I think all I can say, is that, my mum particularly is continuing to get lots and lots of goodwill messages of support, and I know some people, frankly, like I do, feel helpless even being on the ground, but all of that stuff happens. There's been people like Sambat Striders who have been contributing financially to the efforts to help keep the search alive. That again is very, very welcome. We'll be talking to Missing Abroad today to talk about how we can utilise those funds in a very active way this week to try and to keep the search and the momentum going.
All right, Steve, well, let's keep in touch, and thank you so much. Steve Lawton in Greece, the son of the South Cheshire man John Lawton, been missing now just over 2 weeks in a mountainous area of Greece. That's just about...